Somehow, our last one of these went an hour long.
Well, it was someone that we had a lot of stuff to talk about.
So, since the last one went an hour long...
10 minutes!
Well, I was going to say 15. Therefore, I will not mess around and I have no predictions whatsoever.
Speaking of having no predictions whatsoever, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
That's not us. I am the opinionated, though.
I am We Squared.
So what about you?
I feel like at this point, if I guess Nekomaru, it might actually be him, so I'm not saying anything either. Let's see what fate has in store for us.
Probably gonna be a girl.
Ah, whoa.
Ha! I was right!
We had over 50% chance.
And it is Mahiru. Well, before anything else, I should say, in the LP, I didn't really know what to do, so I ended up giving her something of a U.S. Southern accent.
Uh-huh.
You want to know why?
Because of the freckles?
How many female voices do you think I can come up with? I wanted her to stand out, so I did the only thing I could. What do you want?
I'm amazed I was able to get away with as many female voices as I did. I do like freckles, for what it's worth.
I guess if you add pigtails, Mahiru becomes Wendy.
Now, unfortunately, she was one of the earlier victims, so there wasn't really much to say about her, except that she was pretty encouraging of people.
Well, I believe we also only did 2 of her FTEs. Like, we have more of hers remaining than anybody else, so it's not going to be 15 minutes, that's for sure. I really liked Mahiru.
Me too.
She was very much part of the glue that bound people together because she tried to actually enforce behavioral norms and not let people get away with like acting badly or meanly or antisocially. That means that she kind of ran around criticizing everybody all the time. But I really don't think she was wrong to do so at all.
And then, of course, there was her sort of being the big sister to Hiyoko.
Now, my opinion on Mahiru has absolutely nothing to do with my defensiveness of Hiyoko. Just saying.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. No, in all seriousness, that really kind of encapsulated the way that she acts. She was trying to look after everyone, and it's not like she wanted to do that.
Right.
But she took care of Hiyoko because Hiyoko needed to be taken care of.
She offered to do it herself. And she's one of the people that I'm really curious what her darkness was, because you couldn't really tell it.
There was Twilight Syndrome, murder mystery case, package dog.
Okay, but she's not the one what did it. She's just the one what covered for it.
Yeah, she covered it up. She knew who it was and she covered it up. I don't know. Either she wanted to do right by somebody or she thought that the situation was more complicated. Like, she didn't know what to do. Like, normally she's the person who takes a firm stand, and this time she found herself being unable to do that. For some reason, because, again, we don't really know her that well, but the guilt over that had to have been eating her up.
Yeah, you're right.
But outside of that, I have no idea what it could possibly be, because she's the opposite of the ultimate despair. It would kind of make sense if she had standards for herself that she earnestly believed in, which is why she's always trying to get other people to conform to those standards. Which, again, I think was the right call. Yeah. I think that in Danganronpa, the characters need somebody like Mahiru, so they don't all split up and form cliques and just get angry at each other all the time.
Because that way leads to bad.
As we have seen!
Rather definitively.
But anyway, if she has these standards for herself that she earnestly believes in, and then found herself unable to live up to them, that could be, like, she may have never been able to forgive herself for it.
For that betrayal of self.
Yes.
Even though she was doing it to protect a friend.
Maybe.
Sort of.
Like, that part is there too, and that is significant, but perhaps, and this is, don't really know, I suppose we're going to find out, that betrayal of self is the thing that did the most damage to her. That is my guess, anyway.
That makes a lot of sense.
Looking at the quotes that Owl picked, as usual, they're quite good. The first one is a standard and traditional greeting, which only makes sense for Mahiru. And then, get a hold of yourselves. Straighten up.
Snap out of it.
Quit acting like that. Snap out of it. Pull yourself together. Not, don't be sad.
Yeah.
Not, don't be angry. But, knock it off and act right. Little boys never want to hear that. But little boys need to hear that.
Yeah. I wonder if she has a bunch of little siblings, because she seems used to scolding.
I guess we're about to find out. One more thing before we get going. Even if you were on the receiving end of her harassment isn't right.
Yeah.
But her scolding, if you're on the receiving end of it, in a difficult situation, something like that is like the rock that you can anchor yourself on. Kind of like the traditionally female version of a drill sergeant. In the military, there's all this discipline at the behest of somebody who seems like an authoritarian,
right.
but who's just like, do what you're supposed to do. Don't screw around. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't screw around. And he's going to punch you in the face with some nasty words while he's doing it, right?
I don't know which military training... Oh, with his words. Okay.
Okay, like he's going to do that kind of to scare you a little bit. But what it does is it creates that discipline, and it creates a stable environment by which the people involved can do something horrifying, traumatizing, and exceedingly difficult.
But still function.
But function as human beings as best as they can. And that's what Mahiru is doing. Offering that sort of discipline. Pull yourself together. Do it right. Don't mess around. Keep everything straight. And being kind of mean about it, but doing so to help provide an anchor of not discipline, but maybe something like that in a horrible, traumatizing situation to help keep you functioning as a human being.
How many times did the group get paralyzed by their own doubts and indecisions? But when she was around, she would just be like, knock it off, let's do something.
Yeah, and she would help make, like with the cake baking stuff, like she would make things normal. And for someone like her to have been a victim, that's...
And of course, we can't overlook her biggest contribution. Jeez.
More is what she's saying. Which, I mean, geez is a perfectly good translation. And it's the sort of disapproving, scoldy thing to say. Now for the last thing, until the next last thing. There was something really important about Mikan that we didn't talk about at all. And I know this isn't Mikan's video.
It wouldn't be the first time she interrupted one.
So I want to take a second to do that now. If you're not interested, just go here and then we actually shut up and get to Mahiru. Otherwise, it had occurred to me that the reason I didn't say anything about Mikan's final line, like, because you have forgiven me, that you could actually, yes, and I know this is getting into grammatical weeds, it's oh so dramatic, but it's still true. So it made me think that you could actually get the wrong impression of Mikan. I'm sorry, I will always trust you because you have forgiven me. You could actually take something out of that isn't there. Okay? I didn't bat an eye at it because by Japanese.
Right.
So I understood what she was saying. It's not that Mikan is saying she needs to be forgiven for something and that the concept of forgiveness is so important to her, because you see how you could take that away.
Yeah, especially with how the end the end of her section was.
Yeah, like in chapter 3, as well as her final FTE. The thing is, she's always saying, I'm sorry, gomen nasai, gomen nasai. And then she is like, please forgive me, yuruste. And yurus is the word she used, like in her final line. That's what she did at the end of her section in chapter 3. Yurusu does mean to forgive. Like, that is there. But also, it means to allow me. It's not that she's asking for forgiveness. She is asking for you to allow her to be. It's like using all the context of that word, but that isn't something you can translate and keep all the meaning.
The thing between English and Japanese, you know.
Oh, and any language, language. All languages are like that.
No language is a one-to-one. That's really interesting.
And I think rather than assuming that she has some great guilt, which the overuse of forgiveness could imply, or that she is obsessed with wanting people to forgive her, which is a way you could take that, like, I just don't think those are true, because that's using the wrong aspect of the original script. It makes more sense for Mikan to want you to validate her presence, to allow her to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That does make more sense.
But it also does pair quite directly with, like, the I'm sorry, forgive me, like the gomen yurushite thing. And I know, again, that's, like, maybe kind of boring to talk about it that way, but that is more consistent with the other stuff that she said and the way that she acted and the things that she's concerned about, which is basically her presence being validated. She wants people to acknowledge that she's there, therefore, yurus. I just wanted to clear up a potential misconception, and what? I'm done now. Okay, thanks. I'm sorry, I'm not more complicated!
We spent an hour on you. We're moving on.
BSG, get it together! There are people waiting on you! Of course that's what she says. That mo is G's.
Yeah.
I really should take better care of my camera. If it ever breaks, it's impossible for me to send it out for repairs right now. But still, it feels weird not to use it. There's so many things here I want to take pictures of.
Like me?
No, like this really weird statue that no matter where I go, I'm always here looking at this statue. Because there's something really weird about island mode, guys.
I like that it's camera brand camera.
Oh, camera brand camera. That's how you know it's a real camera. I'm gonna go take some photos of scenery, but if you feel like following me, go for it.
I followed Mahiru while she took photos, and I learned a little bit about photography in the process.
Nope, not even gonna touch this one. Oh yeah, this was so long ago. I don't really remember it, that she got upset.
For praising her? You know, I've been wondering about this for a while. Mahiru has been taking lots of pictures, but I wonder if any of those pictures might contain some sort of clue. Clue to what? Hey Mahiru, about the pictures you've been taking.
Hi.
Well, I don't really mind showing them to you, but I'm pretty sure you won't find much.
How have you been developing them? Was that addressed in the main story? Because it's not a Polaroid.
Well, considering that I know absolutely nothing about photography or developing film, I don't know, but she seems to know, so it's probably okay. Besides, we have access to all manner of stuff, right?
That's true.
I guess when they're talking about clues, they mean clues to understanding our situation, which of course, we're quite aware of.
Huh?
You're wondering if they have any clues, right? Unfortunately, I don't take photos like that.
What do you mean you don't take photos like that? Are you saying that if you look through your camera, see something that might be a clue, you actively decide not to take the photo?
No, you frickin' moron! I mean to take pictures of things that look pretty. That would be good shots. I don't even think about whether it could be a clue or not. Jeez!
Huh? What does that mean?
I just told you. Were you listening? Now, you'll know if you see one. Here.
She handed me her camera, and when I looked at the screen, I saw a bunch of smiles.
No clues here. Didn't I tell you? These are the kinds of photos I take.
I've never seen anyone smile like this before. But does she not take many pictures of boys because she doesn't let her guard down around them? Anyway, it definitely looks like everyone's having so much fun that they've forgotten the situation we're in.
Well, at least tell me how you feel about it.
Huh? Yeah. It's amazing.
Are you making fun of me? Words like awesome and amazing aren't words of praise at all.
Well, let me go dig up a thesaurus then.
Weren't you paying attention to my report card? Weren't you looking at your own dang e-handbook? I got mad when you used a word like that. You can take your sugoi or whatever and you can shove it up your...
Subarashi.
That's no good either, damn it! They sound half-assed and insincere. I really hate when people say stuff like that.
Well, sorry I'm not as eloquent as the ultimate Byakuya.
The ultimate Byakuya? The hell is that?
You know, the ultimate affluent progeny, but I forgot what that was, so I just went with Byakuya.
Wouldn't the ultimate Byakuya be the Byakuya that stands above other Byakuyas? How many Byakuyas are there? I mean, granted, there is more than one, but...
Let's not get into that, please. Sorry. That reminds me, she did get a little angry when I said that before.
That's why I brought up this e-handbook. Jeez, don't you do your reading?
Maybe she's right. Maybe it's rude not to evaluate her work properly. Maybe. I'm not some sort of professional photography critic, though. I don't know what she's wanting from me. Well, I can't really say it well, but it makes my heart feel warm and stuff.
And stuff!
You must really like taking pictures.
You thought about it for that long, and that's all you have to say? Don't you have any artistic bones in your body? Can't you look at a person in a situation and feel the ineffable truth emanating from them? My God, your aesthetics are crap!
You can't say that in this frickin' situation.
I mean, it's so obvious. If I didn't like taking photos, I wouldn't be snapping shots in a situation like this.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
Photos depict everything, whether it's beautiful or horrible. That's the truth contained in these images. That's why no matter what situation we're in, it's a photographer's duty to keep taking photos.
Keep a record.
And that's basically what my mom taught me.
Your mom took photos too, huh?
My mom was a pretty famous war photographer. I was about to mention the war photography thing when she said duty, but I thought that it would be going a little too far, but then, she brought it up. But I just take lots of photos of smiling people at normal places.
I'd be rather concerned if you were a war photographer.
Why?
At her age?
But because the theme of my work is too conventional, people don't really care to judge it. They just say stuff like, you should take more amazing pictures.
I know jack all about photography, so I can't really give any good feedback, but I really like photos like these. How should I put it? It makes me realize the importance of what's right in front of you.
That is something that is extremely valuable.
And that a lot of people often lose.
Especially in a situation like this, for someone of Mahiru's role, describing that over and over and over and over is the only way to remind people of their humanity.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. You made a good comment. You pass.
Huh?
Don't make me say it again. I guess I can show you my photos again next time, seeing as you appreciate them and all. But bye.
Mahiru quickly walked away. It feels like she's opening up to me a little bit.
Well, she didn't yell at you again.
That's true.
Or she stopped yelling, rather.
I guess saying something like, oh, that's good, or great, or something simple kind of implies like you're not really taking it seriously or trying to analyze it, or...
I personally am extremely bothered by insincerity. I would rather someone say nothing at all than say something insincere and meaningless.
Don't want to sound like a platitude or something?
Yeah. For me, at least, an insincere compliment actually puts distance between me and the person who gave it. Now, I don't think Mahiru is the same way, but...
Well, with the way all these others FTEs have gone, I'm sure there'll be something that one of us will latch onto and associate with.
Isn't that the point of art?
I suppose so, yeah.
To see the truth contained within the fiction, like the fiction that is the structure or the medium of the art, to see the truth within that, and to relate to that truth via your own understanding of the essence contained within, and also to expose yourself to the parts of that truth that you do not understand, so that you may grow your understanding of things.
Of things. And stuff.
And stuff. Are you making fun of me? Oh, Hajime!
Ah, I'm sorry, what did I do? What? She looks like she's mad. Did I do something already?
Of course you did something! Your sleeve! It's dirty! Get it together! Jeez, have you been doing your laundry properly? There's a washer and dryer in the shower room of your cottage, right? Even though it's work, you gotta do something that simple so you don't get all gross and stinky. Jeez. I'm not saying you need to wash your clothes every day. You gotta wash them once in a while.
Yeah, you're right.
Good. That idiot Kazuichi was saying he's never once washed his jumpsuit. Do you even know how bad he smells? Why are boys always so lazy? Just wanting to run around and play instead of do anything that matters. Jeez, you're hopeless. Just take it off. I'll wash it for you.
You want me to take off my shirt? Right now?
Don't get the wrong idea or I'll make you pay!
Well, it's hard not to with you looking at me like that. It's fine! I'll do it myself later!
You say that, but you're just saying that to blow me off, right? You're not gonna do it, right? That's why I'm telling you, I'll wash it for you.
Seriously, I'll make sure I wash it later, so it's fine.
Well, fine, if you're sure. But if I see you next time and your sleeves are still dirty, I'm gonna be really mad, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mission accomplished.
So seriously, I got it. It's like I'm being yelled at by my mom or something.
What were we saying before and during the LP? It's just this. Gosh, if I worry about you even a little bit, you make that annoyed face. It's not like I'm doing this because I want to.
Baka.
Didn't I say the exact same thing in the intro? It's because you're being lazy, like my no-good dad. Jeez. That's why I hate boys.
Ah, that explains a lot. Now that you mention that, you said this earlier. As I recall, Mahiru's mom was a war photographer.
No, she's a clothes designer.
No, she's a nurse.
I'm sorry, I'm not Mahiru's mother!
What? Your mom was a war photographer, right? So is she gone a lot?
Yeah, she's overseas most of the year.
And I'm sure with your deadbeat dad, you take care of the house a lot, don't you? Then, do you do all the housework while she's gone?
Hajime, are you reading ahead?
No.
I have no choice. There's no one else who'll do it for me. That part's important. But it's fine. I like my mom best when she's out taking photos. Ever since I was little, the first thing she'd do when she came home was show me all the photos she took.
What?
You seem to have this horrifying idea of war photography.
Well, I know that there's often pictures of things one should not show little children.
Those aren't the pictures that show up in newspapers.
Oh, I suppose that does make sense, actually, yeah.
Goodness, you've seen a lot of it. Photos filled with people's smiles. Like Damon was saying, what the heck did you think she was doing? Showing me pictures of blown off arms and stuff? I mean, I'm sure she probably took a lot of horrifying photos too, but even so, she only showed ones where people were smiling and looked happy.
See, I feel somewhat validated.
Well, ever since photography began to exist, starting with like the U.S. Civil War, violent photos weren't put in the press. They were taken. But the idea was they didn't want to horrify people.
That makes a lot of sense. So that's why you like photos of people smiling.
Actually, I don't know what to do. Is it really okay for me to just keep taking photos of the world I live in? Huh. Is she concerned about being too much of a bystander? I want to visit different worlds and take pictures of people's sparkling smiles there, just like my mom. But I guess life isn't so simple.
Well, technically speaking, this island is a different world to Seg.
Really, it's not that different from war photography, is it?
Not really, no.
I mean, if I go overseas, my dad's gonna be all alone.
Even though she complains about it, she's really good at taking care of people.
It is very mom or big sister-like, and since she's always scolding everyone at the same time, it never feels like you're being spoiled.
Yeah. Well, consider her male parent, which is like the idea that you build a lot of your first impressions around for like guys, acts the way he does. Well, it really makes sense.
Well, we don't really know anything about him, though.
Well, he seems to be lazy and doesn't take care of himself.
Well, that's what she said offhand.
Right.
I mean, I suspect there's more than that.
Probably, yeah.
You know, like, he could just be someone who leaves a lot of clutter in his wake. As in, she could just be scolding her dad the same way she scolds everybody here.
Ah. It does say something that her mother was still married to him and she still takes care of him. Yeah. So he can't be all that bad.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that he's an awful deadbeat, but not necessarily.
Well, I'm kind of biased against fathers, so...
Yeah, it only makes sense that you would jump to that conclusion. And it may be the correct conclusion.
Well, she'd have to be. Otherwise, there's no way she'd be able to take so many smiling pictures.
Huh, how interesting. Scolds everybody, points out their flaws, kind of angrily tries to take care of them. No, that's not quite fair, but you know what I mean. And then...
She's not mad. She's disappointed. She wants people to do better.
not necessarily do better, but do what you're supposed to do. But then she nonetheless is also the person who finds the times that they're the happiest and that's when she takes the pictures. What? Why are you staring at me like that? Anyway, make sure you do your laundry. Jeez! If you can't, I guess I can help you out and stuff. Just let me know right away when that happens. Huh.
After talking to me in a gentler tone than usual, Mahiru walked away with her head down.
I guess that's her way of showing kindness, is trying to take care of people, because she naturally has the busybody, wants to look after everyone mindset.
Yeah.
You know, really, she and Kazuichi are by far the most normal people. They're just normal.
That's not a bad thing. It just means they don't have some tragic, well, other than the Twilight murder thing for Mahiru, but they don't have some, like, horrendously tragic upbringing like everyone else. Jeez. Was she blushing just now, or am I overthinking things?
Well, she obviously does enjoy taking care of people.
I guess I should return to my room and do laundry, or she'll rip the shirt off me next time we meet and do it herself. Oh, now that I think about it, that's not a bad plan.
So 2 things. Number 1, how is Mahiru the ultimate photographer if she's concerned that people do not value her work? Obviously, people must value her work.
Or she wouldn't be the ultimate photographer and have been scouted by Hope's Peak.
I guess that explains part of the dichotomy that she feels herself. Which, we still don't really understand too well. The other thing is, so far her FTEs are a lot more focused on her talent than most people's. I'm not really drawing a conclusion from that, but, that typically...
It's pretty rare.
So far, yeah, don't you think?
Yeah, usually their talents don't come up as much until the very end, or at all. Well, Gundam's did.
In the beginning.
Ah, you're right, in the beginning.
Well, here you go, Mahiru. Take Mr. Stapler. Why the heck are you giving me a stapler? What do you want me to do with it?
Don't look at me, it's what the guide said.
I don't want to staple my photos together. Well, I guess that's nice or something, but...
Well, this stapler's for stapling wounds together, so if you ever get a laceration...
Huh, maybe that's why she wants it. Because when she inevitably becomes a war photographer and catches Mukuro Ikusaba in fact, she can then staple together the wounds of her victims. You guys are trying way too hard. Nah. All right, Hajime, stay right there.
Excellent. Would you like me to strike a pose?
Only if it's natural.
Oh. Ah, my eyes!
Take that!
There goes the shutter again. Looks like Mahiru took a picture of me.
Wow, what a dumb-looking face!
It's the face I was born with.
No, the dumb expression you're making when I caught you by surprise.
You should tell me in advance before you take my picture.
Then it won't be by surprise!
And what kind of face am I making? Show me.
Okay, here you go. I mean, no, I will not do that. It is my picture.
Why not? Then erase that one and take it again. I'll make sure I don't make a dumb face this time.
No, I don't want that.
For some reason, the way Mahiru's smiling makes me think she's having fun.
She is a very nice person.
Just make sure to do your laundry.
Just like when I mentioned the bullying, like the scolding is sort of the same thing. Those don't really have anything to do. Like, those are completely unrelated from whether, like, you're generally nice or not.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying Hiyoko is nice, but...
Yeah, I think saying she's a nice person is kind of an understatement. She covered up a murder for her friend.
I'm still wondering if we're going to get into any hints of that in her FTEs. Because, I'd really like to go over that section again to really get a better idea of Mahiru. On another note, I guess it's come time for the inevitable relating ourselves to the subject of the FTE.
Oh, is it that time already? My watch must be busted.
I guess I am kind of similar in that I do kind of have the don't be stupid, pull yourself together, do this right, not wrong. I don't know, I'm not going to go into personal stuff too much, but I suppose I really do understand that. Like, the complex place from which an attitude like that arises.
It never came across as bossy or anything to me whenever you've treated me like that when I was doing something stupid. That was clearly stupid.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I guess I've done it to my parents, too. And so, too, did they do it to me. Anyway.
And for some reason, I'm getting embarrassed.
Ha ha!
Does she want to take a picture just for her own? I mean, isn't it weird how I completely misread that line? Isn't it just a waste of film to take a photo of me making a weird face?
I never erase a photo once I take it. That is my policy. I took this picture because I wanted to.
Yes, ma'am.
I captured truth. But you're dumb looking.
Why am I laughing?
No matter what kind of a photo it is, the moment captured in it only exists at that time.
Oh.
And this is proof that it existed. Also, I mean, you know.
Huh? Why are you blushing?
You know.
Come on, Mahiru. Give me the details. What's up?
Nothing. Anyway, do you like to take photos?
I have no idea if I do or not. I pretty much just use the camera in my cell phone.
Are you sure you're not reading ahead?
30%?
Who the hell is that?
What am I doing here?
Oh my god, go comb your hair and take a bath! Oh, forget that guy. Hajime, you're no fun at all. Jeez. But even though you're not familiar with cameras, you should at least know what type of camera I have, right?
It's the camera bread camera. I already pointed it out. Tell me I'm wrong. The type of camera Mahiru has. Well, we know it's not a Polaroid camera, and it's not a disposable camera, so whatever the heck SLR camera is, it must be that. Process of elimination. Was it called an SLR camera?
How the heck did you know that? You don't sound very confident.
I'm not.
It's like you picked from a list of 3 possible choices and used the process of elimination to determine what was correct.
I can't help it. I really don't know cameras that much. But I'm definitely more interested than I was before.
I think you're making fun of me in some way.
No more than you're making fun of me.
Well then... Actually, never mind. There's somewhere I need to be.
Tsunderes.
I guess she's also not used to people showing interest in her.
If her mother's always away taking photos, and her father... Whatever is up with her father... Yeah, I think there's something to that.
Like, she couldn't really resist it when Hiyoko just attached herself to her. It made her very embarrassed, but...
Yeah, but it was natural for her to do that.
Yeah, and she just stuck with her. Man, how tragic.
She was one of the stronger characters, emotionally speaking.
Sigh.
Mahiru ran away, but what was she going to say after then?
I wonder!
Mahiru's attitude made me feel a little nervous, so I decided to go back to my room, because I always go back to my room. She hasn't really told us all that much about herself. It's mostly been about her talents, and that's kind of usually how it goes. The FTEs either about their past or their talent more than the other.
And since she doesn't really have anything special in her past...
Might have something to do with the fact she's only in the game for such a short period of time. I don't know.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, she's kind of out of place in this game because she's exceedingly normal. Again, outside of Murder Mystery, Twilight Syndrome Case...
The Reckoning, Tournament Edition, Part 2.
Bucket of Chicken...
EX.
I don't know why I keep saying random containers and wanting to put chicken in them every time one of those comes up. No, really, I do that. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah, I didn't think...
What the heck does that mean?
Exactly.
Does anybody have any idea? If so, please tell me.
Because I don't.
Anyway, outside of that, we haven't really gotten a hint as to her darkness.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like our neighbor is mowing the lawn.
That is unfortunate.
Well, this is the only time we have to record this, so if you happen to hear a lawnmower faintly in the background, this too is the will of causality. I mean, what do you want me to do? Go over there and tell him to stop? So she likes people showing interest in her.
But doesn't know how to react to it.
Which is pretty normal, especially at this age.
Yeah.
Hi.
It is so obvious that you are trying to bait me with items and stuff. For instance, this is the second one of these staplers you've been giving me, but... Well, anyway, I guess I'll take it.
Thank you, ne.
No one else is minded.
Ne.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
I actually need to ask you for something. Will you listen to me?
Was that what you wanted to ask me?
Don't get smart.
Well, it depends on what you're going to say.
Oh, why do guys always say stuff like that? Do you really mistrust me that much? What do you think I'm gonna ask?
That's not what I'm... Oh! Huh? I'm sorry, jeez.
Well, this is new.
Somehow she leaves...
Pull yourself together and read your line right. Jeez.
Somehow she seems less headstrong than usual. Her eyes are red. Wait, she's not about to cry right now, is she? I'm sorry, I'll listen to anything you have to say. Just don't put on the waterworks.
Anything?
Immediate regret. Well, you know, if it's something I can do.
What was that bit about immediate regret?
Nothing.
You don't need to be scared. It's not like I'm gonna make you do something impossible. But this is something only you can do.
Only me? What does that mean? I can't really imagine what she's going to ask.
Since this place isn't that good, can we go somewhere else?
Oh, like the storage room?
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Mahiru dragged me away from the area.
And most definitely not to the storage room!
Woo! There's no one else on the beach except that suspicious monkey.
I was hoping it'd be the storage room, though.
Mahiru has been quiet for a while now. Hey, what did you want to ask me?
Well, it's embarrassing and stuff, so... can you take a photo of me?
Huh. You want me to take your picture? But why me? Surely anyone else with an operating thumb could take a photograph of you.
Billy, you have no idea how photography works at all.
I mean, I haven't really taken many pictures before, and I don't even know how to use your camera.
And on top of that, you seem to think that all you have to do is hit the button and that is a picture. Have you no artistry in your soul? It's fine. There's nobody else I can really trust to do it. I just want you to take it.
I can tell from Mahiru's face that she's not joking about this at all. I don't really know the reason, but I did say I would listen to anything she says, and frankly, I could think of more embarrassing things she could ask me to do. Fine then. Mahiru handed me her camera, and I nervously took it with my trembling hands. I don't know why my hands are trembling. Come on, pull yourself together.
Good, I've taught you well.
Now then, how should I take the picture? What should I be careful about when I'm taking a picture of someone? Well, don't talk to the subject.
I don't know, you could.
You definitely don't want to take it as fast as you can.
My personal motto is to never take anything fast.
So I guess by process of elimination, walk one step forward?
Yeah, probably the right call.
I guess it's better to take one step forward.
You don't gotta say it out loud, jeez. Yeah, though when you're not used to taking photos, you somehow always end up taking one step back. You're too far away and too detached. But when you're taking shots of people, the photo comes out better if you're closer to them. Haven't you ever seen photos of people? But you don't have to do that right now, because I'm classically embarrassed over this topic.
Huh? It's better if I get closer, right?
If you talk like that again, I will slap you. It's fine. Come on, hurry up and take it. I know Damon said not to do anything fast, but I'm ordering you to do this fast. Got it?
I've never felt this strange feeling before in my life. So this is a camera.
Good job there, Hajime.
Normally I'd feel too embarrassed to do
Why? It's a picture!
But because I locked eyes with Mahiru through the viewfinder, the Mahiru I was looking at through the camera looked like she had a completely different face than before.
I like that. Locked eyes with her, like you see her through the lens of her own world.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly, instead of just seeing what's in front of you, you're actually taking in...
Making a connection.
You're taking in the truth that's on the other end of the lens.
I suddenly felt extremely embarrassed and accidentally pressed the shutter. As soon as I released the shutter, Mahiru immediately ran over to me and took the camera from my hands.
Yoink! You don't get to see that! Oh, does my face really look like this?
Have you never looked in a mirror?
It looks different, though, doesn't it? When you look at yourself in the mirror, when you see a picture of yourself,
You're right. I never even thought about that.
you're seeing something as it is. Or what other people see, not what you yourself see.
I didn't even think about that.
It's like there's something mystical, or rather artistic, about it.
My soul's been captured by the camera!
I look a little goofy. I guess I can't say much about your photography skills.
Really? I thought I did pretty well.
No, you didn't. You got embarrassed and your hands were shaking. You couldn't keep a good shot and you hit the button faster than you thought you did. What, you think I wasn't looking? But I like it. So this is how Hajime sees me, huh? Is what she's thinking.
Huh?
I like this as much as the photos my mom took.
My heart was racing for some reason. I didn't really know what to say.
Baka! I realized I didn't have many photos of myself, so I was thinking about taking at least one shot of myself while I'm on this island. The me who's here like this. I really wanted a record of myself as you see me.
As Damon said.
Man, this is, in some ways, this is like kind of important. Like, not the sentiment that she's talking about,
Right.
which is pretty classic. That's not to point it or to put it down, but, you know, you've seen that before.
Yeah.
But considering what happens to her, for her not to be in any of the pictures, it's like she's so busy capturing everything else on the island that she's not a part of it herself.
Yeah, you said something like that near the beginning.
Yeah, like she was worried about being a bystander or something. Like, is it really okay for me to be taking these pictures? It's interesting how much distance there actually is, even though it's going into, like, the quasi-romantic stuff. Thanks, Hajime.
Yeah.
I know. If you're interested, I'll give you my old camera.
Huh? That's okay.
Oh, it's fine. I want you to use it. But I didn't bring it with me. So, if we ever get off this island, I'll make sure I teach you how to take photos.
だから、ここを出られたら、私と。
Yeah.
Blush, blush, blush.
As Mahiru suddenly stopped speaking, I stayed quiet as well. All I heard was the sound of the waves crashing around us. There wasn't a single atom of awkwardness contained in our silence.
If you say so.
I could feel a strong bond between Mahiru and myself. Mahiru, let's definitely get off this island. With everyone. Now give me your panties.
I will make you pay.
So I can one day hear the words she wanted to say.
That clearly tells you she's not making it off the island.
Yeah.
Outside of course, that they do, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
Picture
Perfect was the name of the achievement.
Ah!
Mahiru?
Not what anyone expected!
Mahiru's panties. It seems she has an eye for detail when it comes to undergarments.
Detail, is it?
Does it make you feel confident?
Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed. I do like Mahiru, but I feel like there's like a level of closeness that you don't actually get.
I agree.
It was like she only opened up so much. There's a lot of stuff she didn't really talk about, and kind of the side that you see is really just like the classic tsundere characterization. With most of the characters, you really find out a lot through the FTEs and less through the story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess like Fuyuhiko and Peko and Chiaki, like you really do get a lot through their own stories.
Yeah.
Like in the regular course of the game, and Nagito. But in the FTEs, you really get to know them. Well, in her case, it seems like all the details of her characterization you get through the game itself, and you get almost nothing in her FTEs.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing, if you ask me.
Like I said, it does make me want to go through the chapter 2 stuff again to see what else you can get about her. Well, she's a likable character. I have a hard time not liking big sister types.
Headstrong.
Yeah, that aspect too. I can see why people who don't like being told what to do would dislike her, but I still feel like that's a fundamental misread of those actions.
Same here.
You can't have no limits. And that scolding isn't a way of being critical. It's a way of trying to bring you inside the in-group, actively reaching out to pull someone else in. Well, anyway, I'm disappointed isn't exactly the most dramatic way to end one of these, and certainly not how I would have liked it, but kind of wasn't too impressed with the FTEs, I guess.
We play the hands we are dealt by the fickle hand of fate.
The writers of Danganronpa too? Because I think Mahiru was a great character, she just... not these.
Also that.